That's right, it's Dad Music, and this is the Dad Music Podcast, Episode 1. We have camera number 2, camera number 1. I don't know why I did them in that order. And to my right is my partner in this chaos we are creating, the kid, Quinn.
And the guy over there is the old guy, and he runs half of the band Scarboard, and he's a really cool guy.
Thank you. Well, I am stupid pumped about this episode, and it's our very first episode, but the guest that we have is one of my favorite people in the entire world. He is one of my main influences for the band Scarboard. Quinn, how are you liking this podcast so far? Are you having fun?
Yes, I'm having a lot of fun.
Are you having as much fun as I am?
Definitely not.
I am having a blast. My neck still hurts from doing that commercial that we did, but that's what we do here.
It's literally
All right, Quinn, why don't you introduce our guest and our first track from that guest?
Okay, our guest for the first second of the show is Joshua Clifton from the band Ravenhill. Let's hurry up and get him in here and get him started with the Dad Music while we play his first song, Brooklyn Blackout.
Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine. Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine. This may feel like the apocalypse. My heart is keeping time as a record skips. I'm feeling like the falling sun. Oh God, I think they're looking at for number one. And I know, yeah, I know they got you on the run. Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine. Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine. Gunshots ringing in my ear, they're running in the streets like there's hell to fear. I know I'm the one to blame. And my God, my heart is in it full of shame. And I know I'm lost. Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine. Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine. The brush will not be taken. We stand and we are strong. The brush will not be taken. We stand and we fight on. Brooklyn's in a blackout. Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine. Yeah, Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine. Brooklyn's in a blackout, and you still find a way to shine.
All right, hello, Mr. Clifton.
Howdy!
How we doing?
I'm down here in Texas, so I had to say howdy.
Let's get this guy some likes while we're here.
Yeah.
We are back with the Dad Music Podcast, unfortunately with some sound issues and some scheduling issues. You're our first person.
And some recording issues.
And
You get to be the first guests.
right? And
That means whenever you pass this podcast on to your son, Quinn, like whenever Jimmy Fallon or like someone from the Tonight Show passes it on, you got to have me on as your last guest. So
there we go.
40, 50 years from now, when you're done, when you're like the greatest podcaster ever, you gotta have me back on. All right?
All right. Well, I do have to say again, this guy, Mr. Joshua Clifton, is one of the biggest influences for my writing in Scarborough. He's been one of my favorite people for the last several years. And to re-go over, we met in 2019 at Audio Feed Festival.
Yeah.
After I had passed up your show several times, just passing it to go to metal shows, things like that. I don't think I would have fully appreciated it at the time. But in 2019, your little merch guy, London, decided it was time to convict us to go and do the neighborly thing since we were camped next to you.
You guys met 4 years ago?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So we.
This is my third son, Houston, and he went to Audio Feed for the first time in 2023.
Hi,
2023.
Houston.
How'd you like it?
How'd you like it?
Good.
You loved it? They're asking you. Give them your quick review of Audio Feed. What'd you like about it?
The things we get to do, like the friends I made there, and it was fun that I got to sleep over at another place other than my home in hotels.
It was also really hot.
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
hot, huh?
Oh, you guys went the hotel route. I camped the whole week.
Yeah, they went to the hotel. I stayed on the
There you go.
grounds, man.
All right, I'm less disappointed in you.
Yeah, no, I've never stayed in a hotel at Audio Feed.
Yeah, I might need to the next couple times just because we just had a daughter, actually.
Oh, congratulations.
Back in August 26th, we had Eliana May.
Eliana May. That's my parents' anniversary. It's a good day.
If
Awesome.
if I become old and then maybe we'll be able to do have Ellie on.
Ellie on the podcast.
Yeah.
We can have Dad and 2 kids.
Yeah, when she gets old enough.
She's gotta hear about Dad's music too, right?
Right. So the whole premise of this, with the new addition to our family, we didn't want Quinn to end up getting left out at all. So we were trying to find some stuff that he and I could do together.
That's
We
great.
looked into some taekwondo. We looked into some other things around, and he was not feeling it. We ended up landing on he likes to do video. I like music, so why not put the two together and we'll talk about music on a video.
That's perfect. And you'll graduate to making the best music videos.
Yep. Also, we kind of landed on music as well, because we've been talking a lot about genres and things like that. One of his buddies at school called him emo, like it was a bad thing. And I'm like, hold up a minute, let's get you educated, and we'll talk to some actual people and see if we can get the lines defined on where some genres are. Go for it.
In 4th grade, they used to call me emo because I had long hair.
Mine is longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have my hair to the side.
Mine used to be that long too.
Mine used to be like down here.
Down
Yeah.
It was
So-
like down here. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. I used to work at a carpet cleaning company with big yellow vans. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the podcast. But while I was there, I had long black hair for the longest time, and people started calling me Mind Freak because they thought I looked like Chris Angel.
That's awesome.
And I was like,
They were like, do some magician work. Come on.
right? And even I went by myself to a corporate training session, like 6 hours away, and some dude from another state came in and said, "Dude, you look like Chris Angel." It's like, so
Could be worse. Could be worse.
I got it everywhere. Somebody else said I look like Tiny Tim the other day, so
Yeah.
it could definitely be worse.
Go through the too
He knows.
Oh,
He
yeah.
knows.
Oh man.
But anyway,
By the way, real quick, why is it whenever people say you look like something, it's almost always never good?
right?
Yeah.
I know.
I'll go on a little tangent. Since the pandemic, I've lost 80 pounds, like now 90 pounds, and before I lost the weight, at the very best, I would get someone like I don't know, Jason Momoa, right? I would back when I had long hair like you, but almost always I got Jack Black, dude. Which
Jack Black.
he's awesome, right? He's great, but you don't necessarily want to look identical.
Yeah, if I could have his voice, I would be
Oh, he's got such a good voice.
pretty ecstatic about that. But,
Yeah,
I don't know about.
looks.
I don't want to be disrespectful, but I don't want to look like Jack Black. I'm sure Jack Black is fine with looking.
Oh,
like
he's-
Jack Black,
He's a great dude. He's Koopa Troopa.
Today is World Kindness Day.
though. That's what I said. I don't want to be bad to him.
Technical difficulties.
No, it's fine. So anyway, we're honored to have you here on the very first Dad Music podcast.
Happy to be here.
It's just the way that schedules fell into place, so
It's meant to be.
fun, right? So we're gonna go back after we're done here, and we'll redo the intro and play Brooklyn Blackout. So why don't we take a couple minutes and re-go over what Brooklyn Blackout was?
Yeah, totally. So I remember exactly where I was. I mean, it's probably a little conventional that I picked Brooklyn Blackout, and that's because I really do like the song, and it kind of got thrown on an album called Spirit, and the reason we put that one out is because we were reimagining some songs, and we wanted to be able to do songs that even if we didn't have a full band, we wanted to have a way to present the songs. And but we had these two songs that needed to be like full band songs that needed to be on something, and one was Brooklyn Blackout and the other one was Bloodwater. And Bloodwater we had written for a scary movie called Volumes of Blood, which you can find on Amazon Prime. But Brooklyn Blackout, in the process, this guy was on his way, and
This guy.
this guy right here, and I really like the name Bronx. I really like the name Brooklyn, and someone had mentioned that if we could, at that time we were being asked to write a lot of songs for licensing and for to be synced up on movies and TV shows and commercials and stuff like that. And I thought, someone asked, like, how do you write a song for that? And I go, I don't know how you write a song for that. I just write songs, and hopefully someone vibes with it and it works for what we're doing. And but I remember my love for the Ramones, and if there is a handful of bands that's our family bands, Ramones has to be on that list, right? Like we all, and I've always said that the Ramones are writing kids songs, and we didn't realize it. They sound like nursery rhymes, just faster. And someone, and I remember Blitzkrieg Bop being alliteration, and I was listening to them and Gaslight Anthem while I was in Nashville washing windows, and I remember thinking Brooklyn Blackout sounded cool. And in the news during that time, I remember hearing that some that Brooklyn was having some rolling blackouts, or a lot of New York was, and you would hear about some rough things happening, but you also heard about some great people coming together. And despite being in a blackout, and despite being in I guess having a hard time, some people came together and still shine. So Brooklyn's in a blackout, you still find a way to shine was kind of what came. And then I tried to I guess I didn't stray far from my punk rock pop punk roots in that song, because I know that song and Bloodwater tend to have a little bit more of a slight departure from what you normally would hear from the Americana side of Ravenhill. I think they still match, but for sure they're probably a little different. Exclusive on this podcast that probably in the next year or so we will re-release Brooklyn Blackout and re-record it for a new record, because I think
Boom.
Love it.
Speaking of your Bloodwater song, did it get put into the movie?
It did. So it's in the movie Volumes of Blood, and you should wait until you're much older to watch that movie. Or you could just have your dad skip to the very end and hear right when the credits hit. But
It's the credits.
it's the credit one, and it's also what's really cool and what I'm proud of that song is it was the first song I ever self-produced and did all the guitar work on. And Brady, my brother, played bass, and I think he also played a little guitar on it, so I should give him a little credit. And then Abishai Collingsworth from Wolves at the Gate, he played drums on that for us. And even the movie premiere that we did in Kentucky, Abishai played that show with us. I remember. The sad story is we had a tour van that was with us for a long time, and we called it Night Rainbow Supermoon was the name of the van, and it died on the way to that concert, and we forever reminisce about how great of a van that was. Actually, also another exclusive here. We'll probably name something Night Rainbow Supermoon, maybe an album one day, Night Rainbow Supermoon. So
Also, that's a cute dog.
thanks. That's
Thank
Hank.
Oh, we got the dog.
That's Hank Williams Clifton.
We have dads and kids and dogs.
Dads, kids, and
Nice.
dogs.
Hopefully, cats too.
Man, we sound like we need wives, don't we?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. So anyway, we got through Brooklyn Blackout.
I'm gonna tag out a kid and let another kid come in here and hang out with
got a
us.
kid?
Say goodbye, Houston. This is Houston's first podcast, by the way.
Awesome.
Bye, Houston.
Isn't that cool? He's
We're
good.
first buddies.
Houston Jericho Moses. One day he'll have his own. Yeah, Houston Jericho Moses Clifton.
Yep.
Oh, we're getting a tag. And you know this guy, the guy that guilted you into coming to seeing Ravenhill in the first place.
Yep. What's up, buddy?
I guilted him.
Yeah, you remember whenever at Audio Feed, we were camped right next to him, and you were like, it was pre-pandemic, right?
Yep. 2019.
2019.
Did I go to that audio feed in 2019?
Yes.
I did.
Yeah, that's where we met.
And that's the year that is it Taylor or Tyler?
Tyler.
Tyler.
Mm-hmm.
I remember really liking.
Or no, Tyler. Sorry, it's Taylor. Yes.
Taylor.
Taylor.
I thought it was Taylor.
Yeah. Sorry. What's funny is he's a twin,
Oh, is he?
and he has a brother named Tyler.
No. That's too confusing.
That's why it threw me off when you said that.
That's just asking for some-
Taylor
It-
and Tyler.
Yeah, Taylor and Tyler Chance. And Taylor messaged me today and said, "Hey, dude, remember all those $2 bills that we would save in the band that sometimes we get paid with?" He sent me a link that they were worth like a lot more money, and I sent him just a thing that said the band's gonna make it.
You know,
Nice.
it's always a chance whenever you,
Oh my gosh.
uh,
Hey, we're the dads. We're supposed to be making the stupid jokes.
So, funny story about London. I don't know if he's heard this. I kind of told you. During the audio feed set this past year with Convictions, he was sitting with Quinn and my wife at a picnic table. I think he was just playing a game on his phone or something. Some guy comes.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Some guy comes
that.
running up. Do you remember what he said?
No.
Some guy comes running up and says, "We just want to compliment you because your kid is the most well-behaved kid at this entire festival. Like, we've seen him all over the place, just being kind and being all over." And my wife told me about it. I'm like, I need to go tell Josh that. Apparently London is the greatest, and you guys are swell parents.
Wow. I appreciate that.
You're doing something right.
Well, audio feed's a good place for kids to be themselves, and such a fun place. If anybody's listening that needs something to do the first week of July 4th weekend, you should definitely go to audio feed in Champaign, Illinois.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's definitely the place to be.
Hey,
Very much.
we're in London's room right now, and that's the audio feed's flyer behind us. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Nice. I ended up stealing the sign up from the impromptu stage on the last day.
That's so cool.
That was the first official Scarborough show. So.
That's awesome.
And technically, it has me opening for Convictions on it, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, dude. Such a good band. Conviction's so good.
But yeah, I kind of started doing the same thing that you did with Blackbirds. I wanted to figure out a way to make Scarbird work as just a solo project, since my drummer lives 3 hours away. So he was 6 hours away at the time. So I've started kind of working on some acoustic stuff. It's definitely not the same, but it's
Geographically, where are you?
I am in the Peoria area.
That's right. You're closer to Brady than I am right now. Brady's in Southern Illinois. Isn't that crazy?
And he's down
West Frankfort.
Yep. My drummer's down by Decatur now.
Oh, your
He
drummer's
was in
down by Decatur.
Minneapolis though.
Oh, well, that's a little better.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's 3
You
hours
should go-
instead of 6.
If you're ever going south in West Frankfort, stop at Gambit Coffee Bar, because Brady runs that. That's his spot.
And I will say, serve me.
Yes, you go. You owe me coffee.
I've bought all your stuff.
Yeah. You owe me loyalty.
Yeah.
Stay up here. So
Oh, okay.
we started the first time around when we did not hit record. Quinn had asked you about the 2 projects here.
Yeah. So you have Ravenhill, but you also have Joshua Clifton and the Blackbirds. Like, how do you distinguish the two? And just how do you distinguish the two?
Well, writing styles and Quinn, honestly, I'm always creating. Right? And I have so many influences. I like everything from hip hop music to rock and roll, Americana to I don't know, doo-wop, Motown. I love it all, right? Blues. And all my favorite artists, they're always creating, and they don't always have one thing. Unfortunately, Ravenhill isn't big enough, so I for a small time there, I thought about splitting my audience to just me doing Americana stuff, and maybe one day I still will if it's a huge diversion from Ravenhill. I'm not gonna lie, I even love country music. I like country music quite a bit, and yeah, I'm sorry, but I bet you the way I do country, you may dig it too. So it's gonna be more like Led Zeppelin meets I don't know. I just Sturgill Simpson. I just think Sturgill Simpson's like one of the coolest dudes. Or Tyler Childers. But honestly, Joshua Clifton and the Blackbirds, was supposed to be that departure, like kind of a country Americana thing. And I realized it would be silly for me to split my Ravenhill audience and expect people to follow two different things. I still have it, and one day I might. Right now, I just use it for acoustic Christmas songs that I've been putting out. So tune in because I got two of them on there right now.
Yeah.
So.
What's the name of the one you always play? Southbound Train?
Oh, that's Nora Lee.
Norley, okay.
Sweet Nora Lee, and actually, it's supposed to be called I'm coming home, but yeah, I love that song. That's kind of what started me going down that road a little bit.
Yeah, I had that one stuck in my head for about a month and a half.
Yeah, it's an earworm, dude. It's an earworm. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna ask the next one, but Quinn's gonna take it.
Yeah. So don't you also have a podcast?
I do. I've been podcasting since 2014, on and off. Now, when I moved from Nashville to Dallas, I took a break because I had a lot of friends and musicians that I had access to there in Nashville that I just had a great community with people like Davey Basinger and Matty Mullins and Micah Kuiper, who helped me record Brooklyn Blackout, like we were referenced earlier, and did some of the guitars, and Abishai Collingsworth, who played drums on, like, all those guys were my neighbors. It was like we all went to the same Bible study together. So it was so cool. Yeah.
Speaking of Matty Mullins, the Amberlin thing, have you
So
seen
good.
any of those videos?
So good, dude.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you, and this will make me sound unpopular, and so many people may turn this off after I say this. I like Amberlin. I've never been a huge fan of Amberlin. I clearly know that they're talented. I clearly know that they write great songs. Just, I think whenever I came along, I was already on my way out of the emo stuff. And so, but I think it's great. But I'm going to tell you, Maddie's voice behind that, I think that hits me where I needed to be, man.
Right. Well, I saw them at Western Illinois with Yellow Card, like back in like 2008 or something.
I love Yellow Card.
And they obviously opened because Yellow Card is huge, and I was a bigger Yellow Card fan, but Amberlin stole that entire show.
Yeah, they have a great show. That drummer is so good, dude, and that band is good. That band's tight, dude. I mean, that band deserves everything they have. I mean, they're a hardworking band. They're great dudes. I mean, like, I would never talk bad about them. I just wasn't my thing whenever they came out.
Right, cup of tea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, not only do you have your own projects, your own podcast, but I've been present at several shows where people are giving you your props.
Okay.
I went to
Really?
I went to that one down south at the barber shop, which
That's right.
barbershops are now my favorite venue after that show.
Dude, that show was something special, wasn't it?
Right? There's something about home field advantage for all of those bands and having them all connect as a family. I'm like, man, I want to be part of this the next time it happens.
Yeah, you should be. You were there, and that was the beginning of, it wasn't the beginning, it was like a chapter. Like we realized that will forever be our playground, like our home turf, that no matter how far away I moved from it, in West Frankfort, Illinois, right next door to that Gambit Coffee Bar. In West Frankfort, Illinois, we did a show. We actually had a show scheduled at the Granada Theater in Mount Vernon, Illinois, and the venue had some issues. We just had to change venues, and we almost canceled the show. And we thought, why not pivot? Surely a lot of people probably won't show up because of the venue change. That's never good. And it was only like 3 days before the show, right? And we had been promoting it for like months and months and months.
I found out about it the day of.
Yeah.
My wife was already questioning that it was a 3-hour drive, and then it turned to like a 3.5-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't tell her till I got back, honestly. So
But it was such a special night. Man, that was one of the greatest nights of my life, to be honest with you, as far as music goes. All my friends, all my best friends, every single person that was on stage with me and everything, man, I'd gone through miles and crap and victories and failures with them. And 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 not only those that are on stage, but a lot of people, including yourself, that were in the crowd. Like it was so cool to look out and know every face and have a story behind it. And then they would sing with us, and it felt like it was no longer Ravenhill. Those Ravenhill songs were no longer ours after that, for
Now,
sure.
what was the song that like every person in the building got up and was playing with you?
Witches, right?
Yeah, that's right. I recorded that and sent it to you.
Yeah, Witches.
Wait.
Witches used to be what used to be the song. The reason that's such a hit there is because we used to, before the band had enough songs to where we could just mix it up like we do now. We would always start with one song. We'd start with Witches and we'd end with Blood on the Church Floor, and those were the bookends. Okay, and that song was one of those songs that like even local artists would cover, and it was so much fun. I mean, so it was great. I'm glad you brought that night up. I forgot that you were there, and that I think about that night often.
Well, there was that one, and then there was also an audio feed while Jericho Harlot was playing. Johnny said a lot of fun things about you.
Yeah, that made me tear up. Yeah.
Well, in that respect, I actually messaged a few people telling them that we were going to be doing this tonight.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a couple of quotes, trying to figure out why it is that you're basically the Kevin Bacon of Southern Illinois music. Like, somehow every band that came out of SIU runs through Joshua Clifton for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So I got one.
I'm an attention whore, I think. Maybe, I don't know.
I got one from David Curtis, who actually we're talking about getting on here as soon as we possibly can.
It's my best friend right there.
Josh is the real deal. He loves big. He dreams big. He plays rock and roll big. Love his heart, his drive, his passion. We are all better for knowing Josh Clifton.
Oh, God.
And I sent something similar to Johnny from Jericho Harlot. I told him we were going to try to make you cry because it would be good for our reputation on this show if we made everybody cry.
I'm an easy cry, dude. There are aspirin commercials that made me cry.
He says, dude, the end of Wreck-It Ralph gets me every time.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Ooh,
That's a rough one.
Tough one.
But anyway, Josh doesn't cry. He only leaks a little. So that's a very Johnny quote there. But
That dude is great. Both those dudes are phenomenal.
I need to get Johnny on here. I talked to Justin about it just because he's in like every band ever
Yes.
known.
Johnny would be a great interview. You should get him.
All right. We'll definitely look into that. But do you have any kind of input on that besides obviously you called yourself an attention whore a little bit ago?
Yeah, sorry. I probably shouldn't have used that terminology. I'll tell you why. I don't know, man. I love people. I love people, dude. And I like it when people bet on themselves, and I like it when people bet on other people. And I think I know, as much as I wanted to be the next Nirvana or the Beatles or Elvis Presley or Ray Charles or Johnny Cash, you watch these guys, Tom Petty, you watch them up there and you go, that could be me. I think that could be me. But I also know it's not always one person. It takes a lot of us. And I know that I don't think, sometimes I have my narcissistic and prideful moments, but But I honestly know how big of a failure I am sometimes, and even despite those failures, how much people love me, how much God loves me, and how much they've helped me and picked me up whenever I couldn't pick up myself, you know. And I really do think that like we need each other. I don't think we're rock stars. I don't think that we're any better than anyone else. I think if we can all be great together. Um, that and the fact that I ran a music venue in Southern Illinois when there's nothing else going on, and I ran a couple of them, and I was always putting. The moment I realized we could be in a band, I started this thing. I have never talked about this on a podcast, but I started this thing called Ablaze Industries. And Ablaze Industries was the first thing I remember I made the stupid logo which said Ablaze Industries, looked like a skateboard company, and it had flames on it. And I would start putting on concerts. And first I'd start with local bands. And so I needed local bands. I not only needed them to play shows, I needed them to be good because if they weren't good, like people would quit coming, right? So in my head, I was like, well, there was no School of Rock. There was no, and what sucks is I wasn't that good of, I'm still not that good of a musician, but,
Same.
but I, but Green Day showed me that I could do a power chord and the Ramones showed me how to write a hook. The Beatles showed me how to do melodies and make people sing along. And Led Zeppelin showed me you could get real loud and kind of be BA about it, right? So, I mean, it didn't take a whole lot. I just said I had to be the gasoline on a lot of people's fire, and I hope I was.
If you do it loud and with confidence, I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, that loud and confident is exactly what Ravenhill and Joshua Clifton are.
Oh, it's Scarbird to a T.
Yeah.
I am the most generic guitar player ever, but I think that I have enough energy that possibly somebody will enjoy it.
Yeah, you just need to connect with the right people, right? I mean, I've always said that like I don't care if 99% of the world doesn't care for my music. As long as I can find that 1% that does.
Which is, I'm pretty sure, 800,000.
Yeah. Imagine
Sorry, no, 800 million.
800 million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta brag on Quinn for a second. Well, really, I gotta brag on Quinn's brag on me. When we released our song called Bloodwater last year, he had a project in school. It was like a get to know you thing, and it said name the thing you're most proud of. And he wrote my dad's new song.
Ah,
I'm
that's
like,
so
that is
cool.
all the validation that I need in this world.
That's
That
it,
is-
dude.
As long as
That's got
he's the
bottle
one
right up.
person that cares.
That's great. That's great.
That's great.
Quinn, dad's like need encouragement too, man. That's very good, man.
All right. Did you want to introduce our next part?
Yeah.
All right.
So we're gonna do this on most of the episodes. We're gonna all play a little game.
Okay.
So we're going from tears to trying to do something fun.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay. Since we don't know if we say the name that we'll get copyrighted, so we're gonna call it a dad lib.
Got it. Dad libs.
I think you know how the game works.
do.
We'll say like noun, adverb, and you'll try to fill in the blanks, and then we'll read the story at the end. Try to add some funny ones to make all the younger people laugh.
Yeah, I want to see London in tears.
All right.
You were
Judah,
just
get
there,
back here.
so let's get
Here, we're gonna add one more person in here. All right.
I'm ready
Oh,
for
we got
Please.
Judah now.
We got
Yo.
Judah. Judah, Liam,
Judah.
David, Cliff.
Subo.
That's Quinn
Alright.
and Jonathan. All right.
So we have our Mad Lib here. First thing I'm going to need.
Oh, you said it.
Oh, our Dad Lib.
Dad
Yeah,
lib.
we'll
We'll
just-
beep it out.
We're
It sound like
Oh yeah.
we're cussing a lot on this when we
Right.
say the other one.
So first thing we're gonna need is a noun. Somebody throw me out a noun.
I'll make the first one. Okay.
Okay, we'll go.
Let's say a noun. You want to do a proper noun?
Sure.
Let's do let's do Saturn.
Okay.
Saturn. Okay. Next, we need a food.
You want to-
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Done.
I had rice
Okay,
today.
a plural noun.
Plural noun, London.
Moons.
Well, you're sticking with the outer space.
Okay. We're supposed to do like, okay, let's see.
Ah, we gotta get weird with it, dude.
Okay.
Get weird. Like
Toilets.
Fishes.
puffer fishes.
Yes.
Puffer's
Pu-
fish.
Puffer
Puffer
fish.
fishes. Puffer fishies.
You would, London.
Puffer
You
fishies.
would.
I know, man.
Okay.
It's puffer fishes it's a word.
Oh,
Puffer fish.
I get it. All right,
It'd be
another
puffer
plural
fish.
noun.
Another plural noun. Dead.
Another plural noun.
Yes.
Oh, it isn't a word.
How about glaciers?
Glaciers. All right. Man, another plural noun.
Plural noun.
Alright,
Or London, if you got one.
Paper.
Papers.
I was gonna say pizzas.
Papers. I don't talk about papers enough working at a newspaper.
Yeah, dude.
We need an adjective.
Adjective.
That's like
Wait, that's
Description.
that's
What's
what
an
it was.
adjective?
ly. It
Um,
usually ends with an ly.
That's what it was.
Describes a noun.
sweetly. Sweetly.
That would be an adverb.
Listen,
That's an adverb.
Okay,
Something that describes a noun. So,
Swimming.
like a delicious
Yeah.
fruit.
No. What'd you say?
Wait,
Like a
that's-
delicious fruit or
alright.
What do you want to say? Like a
bright sun.
or yummy.
yeah. Just it
Turkey.
doesn't have to have an ly on it. I led you the wrong way. That's adverb.
That's what dads do.
Yummy apple.
Yummy.
Yummy.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. What is the next one? We need a noun.
dead. Ellen.
Okay.
Biscuits.
Biscuit.
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 Uno biscuit.
One biscuit.
One. Un biscuit.
All right. We need another adjective. So descriptive word.
Sneakily.
I think that's an
What's
adverb.
Or sneaky. Sorry, I meant sneaky.
Sneaky.
The ly is still stuck in my head.
Another noun.
Another noun. Hank, our dog.
Hank.
Hank. No, put Hank.
Hank the dog.
Doesn't like that.
Per Quinn.
That would make more sense.
Okay.
Hank the dog.
Plural noun.
Plural noun.
Babies.
Baby.
Babies. This is gonna be fun. I need a body part.
Toes.
Toes.
Butt. Butt's the answer.
Always the answer.
Butt is the answer.
All right.
That's
Oh.
funnier.
Actually, I'm gonna go with toes because there's another body part later.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Body part.
and that was actually supposed to be plural anyway. So,
All right. Cool.
we need a person. I'm gonna go with Joshua Clifton.
That works.
Okay.
Man, I love when my name and butts are in the same
Uh,
same story.
definitely someone's ambition in life.
All right. We need an animal.
An
Tiger.
animal.
Lion.
Tiger.
Hey, Houston, give us an animal.
Mammoth.
A chihuahua.
A chihuahua. Well, we already got a dog. We got Hank the dog, so give me a different one.
I had to choose a dog.
Penguin.
Mammoth.
Yeah.
A penguin.
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 Me?
Penguin.
Hopefully, I can read my own writing. Plural noun.
Say that again.
Plural noun.
Plural noun.
Like speakers.
Let's say, hats.
Hats. All right. And we filled the next blank in with butt. Another plural noun.
Another plural noun.
Uggles.
What plural noun?
Babies.
Yeah. Let's do drums.
Drums. All right. An adverb. This is an ly.
Adverb. Let's do what do you think? What do you think? Adverb.
Really?
Freely? Let's do let's do stinky? Stinkly? What is it? You wanna do that?
Yeah, sure.
Stink.
No. What would be the proper there?
I don't know.
Stinkily?
Stinkily.
Stinky would be an adjective. So
Right.
Would
No, let's do lonely.
lonely.
Oh.
All right, we abandoned it altogether.
Okay.
Quit playing with that.
Okay. Sorry.
Plural noun.
Plural noun. Basketballs.
You said what was it?
Basketballs.
Basketball.
Basketball.
All right. Long words here. And a noun. I've got one last one.
A very long now.
Let's do
Aye.
let's do he said an eyeball.
Eyeball.
So Xavier can be a part of it too. He just said eye. Good job, dude. High five.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm gonna try to read it, and if I burst out laughing, then Dad can read the rest.
This
That's
would be
perfect.
fun.
Yeah, that works out.
All right, everyone, listen.
Throughout.
Is this thing on?
Sistine. Okay. Throughout last night's Saturn, the cheering for the performance of Pearl Spaghetti was so defining that you had to hold your pufferfish over your glaciers. Many well-known papers are calling the yummy concert of the decade. For their opening number, the band played their hit song Biscuits, followed by their sneaky rendition of I Can't Get No Hank the Dog.
No, Hank the dog. I love that song.
I can't get no.
Hang the dog.
Then, as a tribute to the Beatles, they played several babies from the hit album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Toes, the club band. Unfortunately, throughout their performance, the lead singer, Joshua Clifton, moved about the stage on top of his...
Moved about the stage. You skipped a line.
moved about the stage like a caged penguin, singing at the top of his hats, giving this critic terrible butt ache. A terrible butt ache. However, the concert ended with the audience standing on their drums and applauding lonely, forcing the group to come back for 3 basketball before the eyeball finally came down.
Nice.
Greatest Ravenhill review ever.
What were you doing last night?
Okay.
All right. Where did my
That was great.
Oh, I took your bit.
That was mine. All right.
Now we're gonna.
So this is the part where you're obviously the first podcast, and we could not get the songs to play over the thing yet. So we'll fix it in post.
But like we're just gonna.
We'll go ahead and introduce it, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So, we're gonna in the editing we're gonna add, and we're gonna play Mercy.
This life is hard and I need you, Lord. So won't you take my hand? And I may fall, I may stumble. Oh Lord, I'm just a man. This life is hard and I need you, Lord. So mansion built by the good Lord, and He's come to carry me home. I got a mansion built by the good Lord, and He's come to carry me home. I got a mansion built by the good Lord, and He's come to carry me home. I got a mansion built by the good Lord, you know that I do, and He's come to carry me home. Oh Lord, Lord, He's come to carry me home. Oh, Lord, He's come to carry me home. Lord, He's come to carry me home. Oh Lord.
Yes.
Now, this song I have heard, and it is actually one of my favorites. Well, I have heard it live. I've heard all of them.
I like it.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Like what?
That song Mercy.
Yep. I love actually playing it and using that as kind of my warm up.
Yeah.
That opening.
Ba-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh yeah, that part too. Yeah.
And like just those three chords are there's just a lot of power in that intro for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
What is that? E, A.
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot.
No. I should know it too. But it's so funny because
Just play it. You don't.
you want to know? Give me that guitar. No. You know. No. You. Don't, I was just teasing.
Oh.
No. I'll tell you. It's interesting that song was the first song we wrote.
The very first Ravenhill song.
Very first Ravenhill song.
Mercy.
Awesome.
And well, first song we finished. Anyway, at that time we were writing Soul, Blood on Church Floor, and Mercy at the same time. And when I say we, it was John Raby, who is the original drummer and the owner of the Berg's Hair Parlor that we had that concert at.
Right.
And
Let me pause you there for a second.
mhm.
Was he the guy that was supposed to drum for you at Audio Feed 2 years ago?
Yeah, and then his son, like the morning we were supposed to play, his head hit a fan and had to go to the emergency room and have brain surgery. So
Did everything end up okay with that?
perfectly fine, perfectly fine kid. But you remember that being well, I don't know how it would perceive from stage, from the crowd, but on stage, man, I was in a different place. Like I'll tell you right now, there's never been a show that was more stressed out or more beside myself and trying to figure out how to perform whilst it was I was caught in between a spot where I thought, should we even play? But then I had so many people there that were there just to see us and also playing with us. Like they had traveled all the way from Texas to play with us, and so we just tried to do it, and I'm glad we did. But that day almost broke me.
Well, that I remember actually that's another time that or another band that we could add to the list of things that Justin Ram has done. Like I said, he's basically the Josh Freese of
Yeah.
music, or,
Yeah, he's-
Christian music.
For sure. Justin
But,
learned songs hours before we played. And
So-
Eric Jones learned a couple songs before that too. And they kind of split the duties on drums. And I'm not an easy guy to play drums with too, because I go completely on feel, right? So you could be a drummer and our song starts with and you're sitting there doing that until I kick the song off. And if I get in a rant and like I start going, "What's up, everybody?" Blah blah blah, and then something takes over, and if you're not used to playing drums like that, and I'm not saying that Justin wasn't, Justin's a beast and everything, but if you're not used to sitting there and waiting on me, then I can be kind of a problem.
I was the same way. I've played worship at a lot of churches, and if I'm leading, you just got to go where I go, or just stop playing.
Yeah, I remember Eric telling the story of him starting that song, and then he was going fast, and he realized I was taking forever. And also, audio feed's a whole nother monster too, because you're under that tent. It's hot, humid, summer, July heat, and we're all sleep deprived and dehydrated, malnourished, and he's just doing that, and then and he'll and let's be quiet, all right? And he'll and I remember him doing that, and then him slowing the song down and going down to just keeping it and then starting it back up again.
Yeah, he and I talked after that show. He's like, I'm so glad that you were just up on the front banging the stage,
Yeah.
so that I knew where we were at. Because he did a great job, and
For
like
sure.
he did it justice. But I think he was a little frazzled having to learn it as quick as he did too.
Yeah, I think they all. I'm so grateful for both of them for stepping in, and that's another one of those moments where I'm always concerned that I want to make sure people that like Ravenhill and know Ravenhill don't feel cheated by Ravenhill. So.
Right. Well, Quinn had to run and get some grapes. He is now
Oh,
rejoined the podcast.
I shall go to the bathroom.
Cool. We turned into the Poodcast.
Hey, I ate pizza at the beginning of this thing, so.
Hey, it works. We caught each other right at the right time, I guess.
The Pizza Podcast.
Oh
So
yeah.
anyway, Quinn, what do you think about the song "Mercy" that we played?
Well.
Well,
I
when
was
you've heard
gonna play
it.
but
when you've heard it. You've heard
But-
it several times the last couple days and in the last several years.
you know, it's one of those songs that like once you get it in your head, you can't get it out.
Oh yeah. It's so good.
But it's like in a good way.
Thanks, man. I appreciate
It's
that.
not
Actually,
You have no idea how many times I've gotten that stuck in my head. No idea.
when we were writing that song, it was David Curtis, myself, and John Raby writing that song.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh
we're
yeah,
just-
that's you were talking about John, and then we got off on that tangent for
Oh no,
the
no,
audio
no.
feed. And,
The king of tangents.
dude, everybody has a plan for how this is gonna go until you get hit in the mouth.
That's right. That's right.
I told Quinn that at the beginning. We're just gonna have a conversation, and wherever it goes, we'll just steer it the best we can when it's time to
right.
steer it. So
Whenever Ravenhill was starting off, I honestly thought that I was probably done doing music for a living, and I was in a band. I was in an emo band called Forgetting Paris, and we sounded a lot like Saves the Day and Newfound Glory kind of emo. And I was just the lead singer. All I did was sing and swing a microphone around and dance around like an idiot. And I knew how to play guitar.
We could have met. We could have met a long time before because I was booking shows, and Forgetting Paris was one of the bands that was on my radar at the time. And
Really?
I don't think we ever had a show with you guys. We tried to do a lot of the after Cornerstone
Right.
bands, but
Which Forgetting Paris tried to play that, but Ravenhill ended up playing the last two Cornerstones.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy that we never crossed paths because Forgetting Paris stayed pretty busy. Like we were able to, and we loved Central Illinois. I mean, we played there so much, and I went to school at Eastern Illinois University, so
Okay.
yeah. But I will tell you that in West Frankfort, in my parents' front room, we wrote that song "Mercy," and I wrote that song because I thought I'd been listening to Ben Harper a lot, and he has an album called Diamonds on the Inside,
Okay.
and I really liked the way he put songs together, and if you go listen to that record, you would probably hear Mercy all over it. You would hear Where I Got Mercy from. Um, he I think he was such a good. I found him at the right time. I found him at the right time, and that's if I had not, Ravenhill would be very different.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you for what you are.
Yeah, I
'Cause
appreciate
the,
that.
Definitely a lot of the reason, like you guys not sounding like everybody else at the festival. I think that's a lot of what caught my ear a few years ago. And just with how much, like, what are you doing? With how much passion you guys played with, and how it was just like you could tell that the songs mean something to you guys especially.
Yeah, it needs. I will tell you, with Ravenhill, it definitely needs to be it needs to move me. It needs to move me, and if it doesn't move me, then I don't necessarily I don't want to do it. I mean, like it has to feel. It has to feel like maybe we could get this party started with the song, you know?
Right. I actually sent Kalen one a while back that is very, very much Ravenhill influence. I don't know if you know that he mixed Bloodwater for me.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's great.
Um,
That dude is awesome at what he does, dude.
He said, hey, if this is not good, well, let me know what to tweak. Said, dude, just take my money. I paid him double what he asked me for.
That dude is worth. I remember when I moved to Dallas and I met him. I couldn't believe that he was him. He's a hidden gem. He just had a kid today.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, he had a little boy, and he's not very
Nice.
little. He's huge.
Tell him congratulations.
I will. Actually,
have to
he'll
hit him
watch
up.
this. Quinn, he'll watch this. Tell him right now, and he'll hear you.
Congratulations on the new baby.
Yeah, now he's got 2 boys. He's got to get 2 more to catch up to me.
Yeah, with the grapes in his mouth and everything.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
All right. I mean, that's basically where we were gonna be here.
Okay.
We wanted to give you a chance to
Yeah.
to give some shout outs here, whatever you're gonna.
Okay. So this is your time. Look into the camera and tell everybody where they can find you and how they can find you.
All right,
now,
well-
you got 60 seconds. Actually,
60 seconds.
you have a limited amount of time. Where can we find you?
You can find me in Terrell Tech. I mean, you can find me and everything I do on Ravenhill Music on most social medias, or Joshua Clifton Art on Instagram. I have a podcast called the Youngblood Podcast with Joshua Clifton, and it's now a video and TV kind of show that we're constantly tweaking with the Honey Gold Network, and you can find that on YouTube and anywhere. The audio version you can find anywhere you get your favorite podcasts, including this one. So you should go keep supporting this podcast and then come see me.
So, and speaking of which, you mentioned Honey Gold. What's your role there? Like, what all do you do?
What does Honey Gold do?
Yeah.
What is Honey Gold?
Honey
How does it
Gold
all work?
Records. Well, Ravenhill used to be on a record label called Slow Speak Records, and we loved that label, and we put out a couple records with that label, and then we kind of went. We were our vision of where our future was going one way, and they were doing a different thing, and so we were able to get our songs back from them through monetary ways, and then we had to put those out ourselves. So instead of putting it out without a label. And we're not that we wouldn't sign to another label or anything. It would just have to be a really cool label for us to do so. And we're not big enough to the point where we would want to split the money that's coming in with the label. It would kind of cripple us. So we put it out on our own label. Now, Honey Gold Records sounds cool, and I came up with that name. And me and Johnny Gore and Eric Jones, who we met earlier, talked about earlier, that played drums. They were both in a band called Least of These, and they're from the Dallas area. And then Kalen and a couple other people, a new guy named Logan Gabaldon, and a whole bunch of myriad of people here, just friend groups that we don't. It's called Honey Gold Records, but it's really a collective of friends that just putting out music together and art together and trying to do something cool. And right now we're trying to build a platform with this podcast, with our podcasts, that maybe people will start watching, so it can be a springboard to find everything else that we're doing. Really, we want it to be a spotlight for bands that we think are worth checking out, that don't. The whole time we were starting off, Ravenhill's been a band since roughly around 2011, maybe. And I don't actually know exactly when, but somewhere in that area. We've been a band over a decade. And in that first 5 years, we were waiting for someone to come and give us the keys. We worked hard, and we were waiting for someone to give us a label or management or something, or take us out on tour. And we had a lot of people that said they would, and some did, some didn't. And we had a lot of close calls with major and independent labels. And at the end of the day, we just knew we needed more people in our corner. So we're trying to be that for ourselves and other people that we believe, and that we put Honey Gold Records as the moniker.
Awesome. Yeah. I know that that little sampler that your kids pass out every year.
Yeah.
There is some bangers on there.
that sampler, and if anybody wants us, I still I ordered more of them. That was such a cool comp. I ordered another 1,000. So if anybody, so if anybody wants one, all they have to do is send me a message, and I'll send one their way.
Nice.
Josh@honeygoldrecords.com. Email me.
So you shouted out all the socials. Do you guys have any tour plans coming up, or new releases?
We'll play anywhere, just as someone asks us, then we'll figure it out. I mean, like, there's always things in the work. We always have Southern Illinois shows. We'll always play Southern Illinois a couple times a year. We'll play Audio Feed, I imagine. We've played it so many times now. I think we would, I mean, not that we'd be so presumptuous that we'd be asked to play every year, but we feel like we're so far deep in that I think we would have to say no. Even if we were just hopping on like you did and play on the impromptu, we'd show up, because we're gonna go anyway. Our family goes every year, and so you can catch us. You can come shake my hand, or
Like this.
or come hang out with us at Audio Feed, and like I said, we'd play anywhere. We're as long as we can make it work, we'd play it. We're not hard to get a hold of.
Cool. New releases, new music coming out. I know Kevin
Yes.
was saying that you guys were in the midst. He didn't give me a date or anything.
We are in the midst, and we have a lot of things recorded. And next year we plan on having a lot of stuff out. A lot of new stuff, not just regurgitating these old things, but a lot of new stuff.
Awesome. All right. Well, everybody watching, go find all of his socials and get him all the likes that we could get him, because Ravenhill and Josh in general deserve it. So
Thank you guys so much. Quinn, thank you for having me. Jonathan, thanks for being such a great friend and support, dude. I mean, if I had 1,000 of people that were as loyal as you, we would be having a very different conversation.
Oh yeah.
well, hopefully we can get there sooner rather than
there.
later, and hopefully
And if
this
not-
helps.
Yeah, and if not, dude, we're having fun in the process. I don't need it. I need one Jonathan Keith. That's all I need.
Yep. So basically the entire Ravenhill discography we're going to add to a Dad Music Podcast playlist. That way anybody that comes on will be able to get them all in one place and try to get you as many fractions of a penny as we can.
I'll take those fractions, baby.
Probably won't get much, but it'll help at least a fraction of a penny enough.
Hey, Taylor Swift got one at one time was probably getting one stream. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you wanna bring this thing home? Do you wanna hit the walk-off homer?
Yeah, walk-off homer, man. So it's the bottom of the ninth. I'm Kurt Gibson, and the bases are loaded, huh? Better than being Robert.
Field goal guy, but
yeah.
Baseball analogies work better.
Baseball. I was a baseball dude, so baseball and basketball. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and it's such an honor to be here on the Dad Music Podcast. Is that the official name, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, I know. I was.
It's Dad Music.
there's your tagline, and
corrupting our kids.
Yeah, corrupting our kids, one note at a time. Thank you for having us, and I can't wait to see who the next guest is. I'm gonna subscribe, Quinn.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Take it easy, guys.
Have more grapes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Happy World Kindness Day.
Happy World Kindness Day.
All right. Love you, bud.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed the Dad Music Podcast. Make sure to follow us on all the socials and make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah.
And follow our awesome guest, Mr. Joshua Clifton.
Yeah.
And all of his social medias. Let's get him as many likes as possible.
Yeah, we want like goal 10,000.
Yes.
Yeah. Money.
And click.